Should be good. Should be live. Maybe. I'm gonna wait till show the zeros across the board. Okay, I think we're good now. Maybe. Probably. Who knows? What?
The night that you put me to bed, you said you would like to see the kind of illegal son thing of the mod.
Mm-hmm.
The illegal son of the mod.
Can you show me?
I can't bring the tablet over because it's only at 7%.
Yeah. Give me a few minutes, okay? I'm testing some stuff out.
Yeah, you can come whenever you want.
Alright, give me a few minutes. Great intro. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight what my goals are, plans are, what I want to do,
Write it out.
and go from there. I should have written it out before I started this.
Totally write it out on here, and then when you do the cancel and relaunch thing, then you'll already have it typed up, and it'll look different, and it'll be great.
So my goal today is to write out a game design document for a very simple game that likely doesn't need one at all, but it'll be good practice. And it'll allow me to go through the entire process from beginning to end. And hopefully, if I can get this to work, which it seems like it's already failing. I don't know, I keep getting this warning. It says it's good down here.
No, what's the number one
Which one?
in the middle?
This one?
Mm.
Chat rate? I don't know. Current bit rate. I don't know. See, I don't know what any of this nonsense is.
Anyway, what is a game
This is
design
live.
document?
I guess it's still live, I think.
Okay. What is a game design document?
It's a document that people use. It's honestly not even something that's used anymore, apparently. From what I understand, it's
So why are you
this
doing
living, breathing thing. It's still done. It's just not very common.
Okay, well, what do you
It's
call it?
I want to do it because it's going to help me keep track and keep focus on. It's going to help me keep the game in scope, right? Because I feel like so many of these things, so many of these ideas that I've had, I just keep building and building and building, and then it gets so overwhelming that I'm just like,
You should make me a little bulleted list then.
I'm going to write that out. So this is going to be the game design document. So
Well, I know, but just
the game is called Firelight. And Firelight is going to be a very simple project. It has some stuff built already, which I will show us in a second.
Oh.
And I hate this.
Well, I don't. You don't have anything to talk about just yet, so like, put a game design document out there so we know what we're looking at. Because if somebody hops in and looks at this, I'll be like, "What are you doing?" There's not even a head to look at. So, and do some type of indicator in between it. That's
What I
It's
want
not
to do
the
is, I have one built for this other game that I was working on.
no.
No,
Right now
it's
we're working on this. So, what is a game design document? What's it gonna help you do? Give me the bulleted list of what this is for.
So I'm doing this to
Keep it in
keep
scope.
game in scope. That's probably the biggest reason. Keep game in scope.
maybe like avoid unnecessary backtracking, or like is there anything in there that would keep you on track, or no? Cat is locked.
Keeps the game in scope. It's going to keep me focused on what I'm actually creating.
With what, like a timeline, or like just
What mechanics, what... Maybe a timeline. Like, it might be a good idea to try and...
Put those
like a
down. I
timeline.
wanna see what that is, because otherwise that just tells me that you need inspiration, and that's not gonna help you do anything.
I do need inspiration.
And yeah, inspiration's great and all, but it doesn't get stuff done. So timeline, you said mechanics.
It's going to help me like remember, like, if I, depending on how specific I get into it, right, if I like put detailed mechanics within this thing,
Mechanics.
it's going to be able to help me like, reference back to them, I guess.
Does this go into detail about like the actual story?
It can, yeah.
Do you want it to?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so put like story then.
It's gonna,
And
it's gonna, a lot of it's gonna be unnecessary stuff for me, but it's gonna be good for like maybe the audience, people watching, just so they see what sorts of things go into these documents. Usually these
what
things,
else goes in?
usually these things are made for, with like big AAA studios, right? And they'll do like, it's a scope, right? And they'll write out the scope, and then what game engine are you using? And they'll write out the game engine, and what languages, and what this, and they'll go so deep into it, which is not going to be necessary for what we're doing here.
Bureaucracy, but anyway.
Yeah,
What else is going on?
it is, but it's going to be good because it's going to allow you. It's going to help me stay focused. It's
Okay,
gonna
so
help
what
me.
else is in a game design document? Timeline, mechanics, story, you said engine,
Yeah, just.
don't make me ask ChatGPT.
Is it meta details?
I don't know what that means.
Something like that.
If I was a brand new game developer, I would probably also have no idea what that means. Unless maybe they do, and I'm...
By meta details,
I have no
it's
idea.
probably not the right word, but by meta details, I mean like information about what was used to create the thing, right? So you have metadata, which is like information about, like if your website, or you have metadata for your website. It's
I'm too tired for this. Next. I'm sorry.
Ooh, how do I do that with Obsidian? I don't even know.
What?
Alright, I got it. Okay. Alright, so it's going to keep the game in scope. It's going to keep me focused on what I'm actually creating.
And hold you accountable for the spicy brain. Is this like a checklist? Is this like a project management tool? And give yourself a stern talking to in the notes.
I think that these are probably the biggest things, because
Okay, so just
what I'm afraid of, what I've done in the past is I will, if I, let's say, flesh out a story for some little project, and as I'm creating the thing, I get these new ideas in my head, or I'll just get this idea in my head, and I won't really realize that, oh, this is contradicting what I've written in the past.
Okay, so it's like a brand guide. Okay, I got you.
Sure.
I need something to compare it to in my head because
Brand,
I
yeah.
don't have any idea what's happening. All right, so which of those things would you approach first when you're doing a design document, or do you just do like a big thought dump, or?
So I chose Obsidian because I think Obsidian's gonna be a good tool for
What?
this.
You didn't introduce Obsidian, but okay.
Uh-huh.
If someone doesn't know what that is, you
Obsidian is a program. It doesn't matter. But Obsidian, this tool that I'm using, is going to be useful because I can just have little sections. And I can link back to them. So it's gonna be used as a brain dump, right? I'm gonna have the section for brain dumping.
okay.
Lots of brainstorming. It's like an idea page. I'm going to have a section that's going to outline the story, because I think, so for Firelight, I think the story is going to be the big cell, the big focus on it.
Wait, what?
So for Firelight, the story is going to be the big cell, the big thing, because I'm not equipped to make good mechanics just yet. I'm probably not good. I'm not equipped to make good storyline either. But it seems more approachable right now.
Okay.
What does that mean?
That's the good stuff.
Oh.
But should
I just think of that game that
Go.
what's that game? PUBG.
I don't know what that means.
It's like Fortnite, you know.
Well, I know of
It's
it.
a battle royale, but when you win the game, they go winner, winner, chicken dinner or something.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is sausage.
This is all sausage. That's the point of this whole thing, right? Is I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going into it. It's everything's gonna be sausage, so that's fine.
I just didn't get the reference. Okay, so it's meat and potatoes now. People know that it's more important. You can put that up there as asparagus if you want.
No, that's fine. And Obsidian's also gonna have the game design document. Like it'll all just be in this little section here, right?
Okay.
So for example, I can do this. So brainstorming, right? And you just do this, and like we have a brainstorming section. So now, what's great is I can click on this. Oh, and it'll take me to the brainstorming.
Okay,
right?
so can you do one then for story and everything else?
Yes, you can. Isn't that great?
I might just literally do it, but yeah, that's great. That's nice.
Okay. And then
I'm upset that those aren't in the right order.
I can fix all that in a second. And I can eventually, once I start actually writing those out, I'll link back to this homepage, I guess. I want to have like a section for like mechanics, right? Except Bakery Bend already has a mechanics section, but I'll create a new one. I think see it's our other one. I don't know how to do that.
Keep making pages. What?
How do I create a separate page? I don't know. New note. Mechanics. But not this one. So it's okay. I see what it's doing now. So we want Firelight. Firelight. I need to learn how to spell. There, and that should take us to that. Cool. I'm just gonna put metadata. I don't. There's probably a better word for it. There's probably a fancy game developer word for it, but I'm gonna put metadata. This section will be like engine, Godot, 4 point whatever, language. I don't know. I'll probably use GD
Is this
script.
the dumb stuff that you'd put in the credits at the end of the game?
That's probably stuff you see at the beginning of the game where it's like.
Oh, beginning of the game.
Whenever you play a Unity game, it's like Unity, right? No, it's just metadata about the game. And I feel like it might be interesting to include as like a historical reference, right? Like you look back at all the things you've created. Oh, I created this with this. Interesting, right?
Could be.
No,
Okay, so most important, or at least most interesting topic that you're writing in today would be what? Because I'm guessing that most people would hop in here and be like, oh, well, you know, I kind of know, but then you click into the story and like you don't really want to write out the story. Do you?
Right.
Or
So
do you just need to pour yourself a nice cup of something and then make yourself write it out? Like,
I think to
what's the next
start,
step?
before I think brainstorming is gonna be the first step. Right. I'm just gonna go through, or maybe metadata. I'm just gonna go through and brainstorm some of the basic ideas, some of the basic mechanics that I want, maybe some of the goals, maybe some of the topics I hope to learn, why I'm doing certain things.
Do it right now. Get in there.
Well, before I do that,
Oh.
there's one thing I want to do before I get into this. Is I want to show that I have been. So we've both been working on this project for a little while.
Oh, yes.
Not very just for a bit. So there is already some stuff created for it. There's a basic template laid out. But I decided to kind of go back and create this document, kind of start back from step one, because I'm already getting overwhelmed because I keep coming with ideas and I keep doing this and I keep doing this, and I'm just like I'm losing the plot. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So I want to do this so I have some sort of like structured document that I can like zone in on and be like, you are creating this. You're not stepping away from this. This is what you are creating. Stop, exploding into a million different ideas.
But
So,
you're Gemini, so.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to show what we have so far. So this is very basic, those bare-boned mechanically. I can move, I can jump, and I can enter things. And
Do you want me to
very
be
simple.
taking notes?
The art was done by you.
I did
You
it.
did some lovely art.
I done it.
You are much better artistically than I am mechanically.
I am artistically inclined
But-
after wasting 2 years of my life in art.
So, right.
I'm glad I can help you out.
But we have a very basic thing, right? Character moves around. I can interact with things, and I do have it set up so you're viewing first note, right? And
Oh.
you're viewing second note. Obviously, there's
I'm gonna
no
make a note and it's all pretty with.
right. There's no
everything
visuals
in
for
it.
it yet. That's fine. Yet working.
Okay.
And I also have one of the mechanics that I wanted to create, where we call him Bartholomew, right? Bartholomew here
Barty.
can go in and he can hide in chests, right? And stuff again, and he appears again, right?
I would love. This is not important, and tell me if I'm ruining everything. But it would be really nice if when he hops into the trunk that you could like see his little eyeballs peeking out. Or something. Like, I will work on that later. Anyway,
Maybe it's like set on a timer, so like
you only have so long to hide.
you're in
before you
there,
can
and then
do
like
it.
in every 3 seconds or something, you'll see him like poke his little head up and like
Blink.
you'll see his eyes or something like move around.
I would be quite.
I kind of like that idea too. The armoire here is going to have the mechanic. It's gonna have the same mechanic as the trunk. I just haven't set it up yet. And then you can also go through doors, but I only have one door set up. So we have some basics things to get like a basic project going. But again, I sort of get overwhelmed, and I'm like, I can't do anything until I have this art stuff, and like, I don't need this. What's frustrating is I don't need those things. But my brain's like tricking me and being like, you need to do these things. So,
Well, I mean, I guess like it makes sense. It feels like it would be either a special kind of hell or take a special kind of person to go and develop a game with absolutely nothing to go on other than like a placeholder cube. It's like those actors or whatever in videos that just have to yell at something because it's going to be added in CGI later. Like it's kind of difficult. It would help to have some assets.
Right.
I don't think that's the fate of it.
Well, I've seen a lot of other people, like when they start their projects, is especially if they're not artists, is they'll just they'll do like art last, and they will just have like boxes, right, just to get things working mechanically, and then you can just kind of plug and play the assets,
I would cry so hard.
which I'd be okay with doing, which I probably should have done, but
Are you saying you don't like my art?
no, I love your art, but I'm at this point where I'm like, I need this art, or else I can't do things. I'm just
Yeah,
like, it's not working for me.
Don't blame me for your. Gosh.
It's all your fault.
Rude.
No. So yeah, we have a very, very basic start. I want to go back and get a detailed document to help me stay focused, help me stay on track. And I think it might be interesting to kind of show the whole process,
Okay.
show the whole struggle. So, project shown. I'm gonna go back here, and I'm just going to start brainstorming. I'm going to write down. For now, I'm just going to write down all the things I do for sure want in here. Some of the things I need to learn how to do. Maybe some ideas. This is where the idea man's going to be a big help. Yeah.
Is that a general reference to a task, or is that what I was because I don't follow through?
Well, I'm using it as a reference to be like, you always have the idea man who just has all these ideas, right? But they can't ever.
Triggered. Okay. So what are you gonna write about first?
Mechanics. So mechanics, for sure, what I want are very basic movement. Right, so movement's gonna be one that's gonna be big. That's going to include. It's a side scroller, so left and right movement.
Right. I'm sorry.
It's going
It's a
to
British
have
game.
jumping. I think having some.
Any crowd?
The game's going to have some basic platforming, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
like platform, like you got to jump from this platform to the next, and if you fall, you die or whatever. What'd you say? Crouching.
Yeah, that's definitely what I said.
Well, so the sneak, like a sneak mechanic, right?
So do you just put in sneak in general, or would you put like crouching, hiding?
Oh, I'm wondering if we want the sneak mechanic because we already have the hiding mechanic, right? Because if we have him hiding in trunks all the time,
But still.
what's sneaking gonna do?
I don't know. I don't know that we've gotten to the point where the baddie
We don't know what the baddie is.
yeah, like that's not fleshed out. So I mean, if it makes sense that you add in a sneaking mechanic, then cool. But if not, then no, leave it. But
So I think hiding is. If we have like a crouching, like sneaking mechanic, it kind of defeats the purpose of the hiding in a trunk mechanic.
does it?
In my head, it does.
Anyway.
So hiding, he's hiding in the armoire. He can hide in trunks. He can hide in the armoire. We had the idea of him hiding behind the curtains, right?
The way that I would see it now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you're like, oh no, I don't like that idea, is like if you have different types of bad guys doesn't feel like the right word, enemies, whatever. You have like ghosts coming through, and for certain ones you do have to just straight up hide in the trunk. Like there's nothing you can do, you just need to get out of sight. But then what if there's like a different kind of like entity, a different kind of spirit or something that's like always there, and you have to get through the room, like it's not gonna leave, you have to like sneak past it or something like that. And if you get caught, then it's it's curtains. And there's like repercussions. So that's just kind of what I was thinking. But if you only have like one type of
baddie,
so you have a sneak mechanic for certain kinds of enemies and a hiding mechanic for other kinds of enemies.
Yeah, just like multiple ways to get around
Maybe.
things.
I'll throw it in there.
We just need to turn it into a stealth archery build game because that's the only thing I can play apparently.
Well, I don't think he's gonna have any sort of attacking. I like the idea of him not being able to attack. No, I know.
And then there's a survival horror crafting.
That's gonna be a game. That's gonna be my what's like your final piece of work called your great accomplishment.
You're
If a word for it's like a French word or something. Magnum opus. My magnum opus will be a survival crafting horror experience. So maybe sneaky mechanics for different enemies. I need to create enemies. It's not a mechanic though, or movement for that matter.
We'll just add in a different section because we're still in brainstorming. So just go down past mechanics, right?
Well, I guess it would be mechanic because you have enemy AI, and that's a mechanic. Their AI is going to be AI. From what I understand, from what I've researched, from what I've learned, is very difficult.
Even for something like this.
Well, that's what I'm brainstorming right now. So what kinds of things are they going to do? They're going to chase, right? They're gonna have like a detection system, right? So when you get within X amount of pixels, they notice you and they're like, attack, right? So it's going to be detection.
Aggro.
Yeah, exactly. Aggro. They're going to go aggro, which means they're going to start chasing you.
Does everybody know what that term is? Am I just an idiot?
I think it's probably well known in the game development
I'm
sphere.
an idiot. Okay, great.
Well, it's. I think.
I'm okay with that.
I think the.
I
I
just
think the.
wanted to
Like, I'm probably wrong. I could be wrong, but I think the aggro term came from like MMOs.
Oh yeah.
Because like if the tank would go aggro the baddies, right? Tank would be like, "Hey, I'm over here," right? And he would aggro them all to him. That's where the term came from. I think. I might be wrong. But I think nowadays it's well known enough. So enemies can detect. They're always in detection mode. Maybe the better phrase would be they need a state machine, right?
What on earth is a state machine?
A state machine is like so the enemies will always be in some sort of state. They're in
Fight or flight.
base mode. They're in movement mode, right? So
Okay.
where they're wandering, right? So they're wandering the thing.
Okay.
Right. You get within X amount of pixels, their state changes. Oh, now they're in detection mode. They suspect something.
Okay.
Right.
And
And,
then-
oh, now they're in aggro mode. They see they're chasing you, so they're in aggro mode.
Oh, okay.
So they're always in different state.
And that's part of this AI thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, Skyrim's like you're sneaking on a bandit, right? And
Who's there?
he's doing his default, like reading the book or whatever, or he's sitting at a campfire, he's chatting with the other bandits, and then he hears something, and he's like, "Huh, there's someone there." So he changes state, and now he's in like looking around, right? And then he sees you. Now he's in attack state. Where he's attacking you, chasing you, whatever. So.
I'll just think of all the memes now. Good. Very good.
So from what I understand, that's how state machine. That's what a state machine is. So they're gonna have a very 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 basic state machine. They're going to be wandering.
Just living their best lives.
Well, they'll just wander the screen. In my head, it's you get within X amount of pixels, and then they will be in aggro state, and they're gonna chase you.
If you touch certain things, that would be cool.
Maybe.
Like he picks up a scroll or something, and then everybody's on him.
Maybe.
Anyway, continue.
I'm not. Maybe I don't know how. I guess mechanically you can make that work with like. We just auto trigger maybe. I don't know.
See, I'm not even worried about that part. I'm just like, idea man. You do the hard work.
Well, that's what I'm trying to make sure I don't.
Do that. Yeah. Anyway, okay. What else is included in an enemy AI that I would need to know?
That's probably all that's important for this. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep enemy AI to a bare bone minimum because it's a very complex topic, and I just want to get something basic working.
Okay.
So we have movement, we have enemy AI, we have character interaction. I guess that kind of falls within. Is that her singing?
Keep going.
Character interaction. So the characters can interact with several things. Notes. This kind of goes back to the mechanic with movements, but like chests and hiding. What else? I'll just put hiding. That makes more sense in my head. I reference it twice. It's fine. So notes, hiding.
Oh, is an inventory system part of that? You never
I don't.
said that.
So
So
I was
the
thinking
notes?
about that. Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking that he's going to carry are the notes, which
Keys?
probably are we going to have a key system to unlock doors and stuff?
It sounds fun in my head. I'm not the one that has
It wouldn't be that. I don't think it'd be too hard to implement. So we are brainstorming, so we might as well write it down.
Health would be something that you may or may not know.
I think it's just one hit kill.
One hit kill?
I think. I think enemy touches you, done. Right.
So it's got to be a really short game, though.
It's gonna be.
or people are
It's gonna be a
pissed
very
off.
short game. It's gonna be a very short game. It's gonna be very simple. Just tell a quick, nice little story. Be done. Because my goal with this whole project is just to freaking complete a game. I just want to have something from start to finish. And I want to do the entire process.
Okay, so no.
Inventory system.
Oh, yes.
He's. I mean, all. So notes will be included. Keys. That's probably it. I mean, I was kind of tinkering around with the idea of because he's gonna have the little candle, right? Walk around with the candle. Like, does a candle go out, and maybe you need to get
Another one.
like fuel or something? Might be too much.
But like candle slash fuel. Question
candle.
mark?
Candle slash fuel. I mean, we're brainstorming, so I think it's. I might as well just write it down, right? Candle, fuel. What's another mechanic that would be required for that? Would be the candle system. I don't know what to call it. Candle runs out of.
Weird indie band. Wax.
Yeah, what might be fun is enemy gets close enough to you, the candle just goes out, right? And she goes quiet.
So instead of dying, you like bumble up in the dark. Things to think about.
I
Anyway.
don't know. It's.
Mm.
I think having him just. Can he sprint? Is there a sprint
I feel like
mechanic?
you would need to put in then like a stamina kind of health bar thing.
For sure.
Something that I'm curious about then is like how are you gauging which of these things, these mechanics would actually be most interesting and most playable? Like I know you've read the books and you've studied the things and all that goodness, but like is there a point when you just kind of like lay out each option on the table and you're like, these are the pros and cons of this system versus this system versus this system, like this is going to be the most playable or the most enjoyable? Like do you take that into account here, or is that something that like you kind of work out in the middle?
It probably happens. You start it here, and then you a lot of that probably happens during the game design process. From what I've read, from what I've learned, what they recommend is you, especially with these smaller like indie type games, these indie games, is you want few mechanics that work really well.
Yeah.
You want to have like this really well done mechanic.
Quality over quantity.
So
yes.
very good platforming or very good like the hiding mechanic, right? Like if like that, you want to time things just right. So instead of it being really easy or really hard to dodge the enemies or whatever, you want to make it so it's just hard enough, right? To where it's a challenge but not so frustrating that you don't enjoy it.
Okay, so it's more like a fine tuning.
You want to fine tune those one or two very good make those two mechanics very good, and that's what makes those kinds of games really successful. Ultimately, for this game, though, I think mechanics are not the big focus. It's going to be story. Right, we're going to tell a nice, cute story about Bartholomew trying to find that's a story. So let's go down a little bit so we have our story
I kind of changed our mind.
from what we had before.
I don't want it to be Barty finding his love, and then it's a surprise that the lover is a dude. I don't want that to be the surprise. I want to play into it hardcore that you have to go save the damsel kind of a thing, but then at the end of the game the hood comes off and you realize that the player was a woman as well. I feel like that would be more fun.
Kind of like Blue Eyed Samurai. in that
like,
first episode.
How many games and stories are there where you have to go and save the damsel in distress and you're always this big hulking dude or this like real smart science man or something like that, but just to play the whole thing where people just assume and we give them more of a gender neutral name that's the Charlie, you leave off the something like that, so they just assume that it's a dude. You just assume you're playing a dude, but then you get fact checked at the end.
that's the spin.
That's the queer spin that would make me feel better.
Okay.
Anyway, not that that's super important right now.
Well, it is important. That's what we're brainstorming right now. How would you write that in a quick sentence, though?
Surprise lesbians.
How am I spelling surprise wrong?
Surprise. Soup.
Surprise.
Yeah.
How's that wrong?
Surprise.
I'm so
having a
brain
stroke?
broken.
Well, I'm gonna text you so we can get it figured out.
Lesbians.
Surprise.
Is it
We're both
surprise? Oh
stupid.
my gosh. Autocorrect has ruined my brain. Did you text me?
Yeah, I texted you surprise so that we could have that work.
Okay.
The day of spelling bees is over. Descent into anarchy.
So PC, so player character,
Lover gets abducted.
PC needs to find lover
Abducted by witch
who
or
was
angry spirit.
abducted
By, and then do brackets and redacted.
and taken to evil mansion.
Why is the mansion evil? It's just to fix her up.
Taken to mansion. Right.
It's trying its best. It economy. God.
Player character needs to find the lover who is abducted and taken to mansion.
But watch out, and then you throw in the twist.
Player must navigate mansion and uncover the story through notes. Through notes left by lover.
You doing all right
And
there?
maybe that guy. The abductor. The abductee and the abductor. Okay.
Is it an evil witch? Is it a terrible eldritch horror? Is it some entity that is bound to this realm? Unearthing
That could be
means?
that could be included in the twist.
That it's actually just some guy that lives across the way and he's just causing problems, or what? What's the twist? I really, really loved how the Haunting of Bly Manor did their haunting. Where, like, for a good chunk of it, right? No one's. Yeah, I can say spoiler things. A good chunk of it, you think that it's her dead fiance that's the ghosty, but they're like, oh no, she's just mentally unwell.
Mhm.
It's actually this person. That was a lovely twist, but I don't know how to do that in a short, sweet platformer. So, what kind of twisties are you thinking? The
Initially,
entity's also a lesbian. Gotta push that gay agenda. Sorry.
he needs to find lovers. The story of the mansion is also uncovered. See, I like the idea of the lover having something like, why is lover, instead of being abducted, I like the idea that,
What if she absconded instead? And it's actually not a bunch of letters calling out for help. It's a bunch of letters that are actually a horrible breakup. I actually hate that idea, but you know, it's out there now.
not so much. I don't think I like the idea of the lover being abducted, because wasn't initially we had the idea of her like
Being
going to the
sacrificed?
mansion for some reason.
Oh, wasn't she like indebted to this?
Like something,
This
yeah. Like she went there
person.
to take care of something, and we had to go.
Traded her life
Right, like something like that.
for the pro tag. Sure.
I like that better. I think.
Instead of the firstborn offering up your own life to save your lover, you're like,
Needs to save the lover who went
It's gonna make
to
it
the
inappropriate.
mansion for some reason. Well, that reason is yet either to pay off a debt or.
What if the twist at the end is that you find out actually you were dead and the lover went and got you back by making a deal with an unholy entity?
Okay, M. Night. What's the guy's
Shamalama ding dong.
M. Night Shyamalan. You always have those wacky twists.
You keep saying that there's a twist, and so I'm looking, looking really hard. Okay, you're not taking any of them. I'm gonna pay off debt. I'm fucking sick of capitalism. Do a different one.
Maybe the lover was like way into the history of this mansion, or way into archaeology or something, and they went to this mansion to uncover something because they
I'm sure I thought they were talking to
there's some sort of evil hidden mystery with the mansion, and the lover just had to go figure out what it was, or had some sort of insight into it, and had to go uncover the secrets. And you're just like the basic housewife who's like,
God damn it, Emily! Why would you do
again?
this?
You have to go save
Again?
her.
There's like 16 sequels. You just have to keep pulling her out of shenanigans.
Right.
Potentially. I want to hear what that twist is. Like, I like the the general thought of it, but like, what's the actual hook to have this person go and need to be rescued? Maybe she goes and it's actually MLM. She can't get out. You gotta find the contract. Surprise, the mansion's in Utah.
The Secrets of Mansion.
That would honestly be pretty good.
That would be pretty good. That'd be kind of funny. I like that idea.
Do well with the Exmo community, so.
Okay. There's no reason everyone wants to uncover secrets of mansion. History of the mansion is also uncovered through these notes. Okay.
Do you find little pampered chef workbooks and order forms? And you're like, she must have left this for me.
I've been struggling with how I want to introduce this whole thing. Kind of like the game's intro to start. Like my initial thought is, it's just like the game opens with. So if it's not going to be
home in the rain, that's why you have the cloak.
if it's not Bartholomew anymore, I'll just go PC.
I would be looking at names for chat.
The way I had this, the way I think I like the way it opens is, it's very rainy, and the player character is standing at the doorstep of the mansion, and like.
There's no Through the Woods intro.
I don't think so. I think like the idea of her just being at the mansion, and maybe like pulls like a picture or pulls out a note or something, some sort of evidence that she'd be at this mansion, and like looks up and then walks through the door, right?
Okay.
And that's like the little cutscene, and then
it would have to be so compelling though.
As soon as the character walks into the mansion, maybe they'll like light the candle, right? And then the player will have access to controls and stuff. It's got to be simple, I think. Just a quick.
There's one pick a name now.
I'll focus on the name.
Hyper focus.
I'm gonna write that down. Introduction. Cutscene. So main character standing at doorstep of mansion. Mancho.
Do you still hate the name Rowan?
Or when did I hate the name Rowan? Pulls out note or picture. Looks down at it. Back up at mansion. Walks in. There goes transitions to inside of mansion, where PC, where main character lights the candle, and PC can play. Maybe when so she'll pull out the picture or whatever, it'll transition to a picture of the lover or
a little locket.
Or locket or
There's
something.
3 pixels inside, so you can't tell what's going on.
And then it'll cut back to the player, or cut back to the character who puts it away, walks into the mansion, lights a candle, and then player can play. That'll be nice and quick, and it should tell enough to be like,
Okay.
and then boom, player can play, game starts. Nice and sweet. Short and sweet. You said Rowan?
Rowan.
Spelled like that?
Rowan.
Okay, Rowan, works for me. So Rowan. I'm gonna change this to Rowan. So Rowan is standing at a doorstep, pulls out a note, picture looks down in, looks down at the picture. Yeah, okay, that works. Works for me. I'm happy. I'm pretty sure this is all it's been doing. It's really frustrating.
But we're practicing.
We are practicing. This is good.
So someday when we're wealthy enough to have good internet.
I really should have recorded then, huh?
I think it would be to do almost an overview of sorts, like a last week on kind of.
Right, but having this
because-
footage would have been nice to have recorded, so I could use this as footage. Be like, here's what we did last week, right?
Would you have wanted to?
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
the whole
well
plan
then-
was to do that with
Well,
this.
then we learned something, I guess. But I think it would be helpful for you to just walk through this when you turn it back on, and you're like, I've started this document.
I'll have to go through it again.
Yeah, this is what I have currently.
That's okay.
What you could take a look at if that feels relevant.
Surprise lesbians.
They're lesbians, Harold.
Okay, so we have the story, we have the mechanics. We already have an art style, which I'm still happy with.
I'm way less happy with it now that I can see it on your screen and the colors are less vibrant. Miffed.
You don't like that, huh?
It'll be fine. It just feels way more gray on this screen. It still feels gray. And on my screen it was bluish.
Yeah, I don't know how feasible streaming is going to be unless I get a. I'm starting to think it's my Wi-Fi card. But I could be wrong. It might just be that.
How much is a new Wi-Fi card?
They're. Well, I bought the cheapest one I could find, so.
So that's kind of problematic.
And I'm pretty sure it was like $10 or something. And like a really nice one, like I don't know, it's one of those things where you can spend hundreds of dollars or you can spend $5.
Should we just do Ethernet next time?
I need to get a new Ethernet cable, if that's the case, because I'm pretty sure that one has a short net or something, because it's doing the same thing where it just disconnects all the time.
Bush flip. Go down to Office Depot and get something overpriced
Ugh.
and show them
Ugh.
what it's like online instead of give you a discount.
I'd
Don't leave,
I'd rather just
kitty.
get something online. Besides, I don't know if Office Depot would have Wi-Fi cards. Or do you mean Ethernet? Not better.
They have some things.
Yeah, well,
I do like that vase. That turned out nice.
the what?
It's a little vase.
The
I like
vase.
that. I'm quite proud of
I like the
the
windows.
texture.
I think the curtains are really well done.
I like the little mountains in the back. Very proud of that.
Is it going to bug you that since I'm reusing it, there's always going to be a mountain there?
No, they're supposed to be super faint. There's probably some other things that I would want to do to try and liven it up, but I also don't want to make your job hell.
Rather than my job hell.
Well, like this doesn't. I'm enough of an art asshole that I always want to over engineer everything that I do in that department, and then I set myself up for disaster because my brain goes way faster than my hands actually can, and work creeps up and life creeps up, and I just literally can't get it all done. So I'm gonna try and keep it realistic.
Yeah, especially because this is more of a side project for
Yes,
you anyway.
I will work on the Magnus Opum or whatever another time.
Right. So one thing that I also want to address in this real quick is audio. I still love the idea of going out and recording every sound myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to find free audio tracks online. I don't want fake audio sounds. It just sounds fun. It just sounds like a fun experience to just go out and record sounds.
Should we put out a request on Facebook for haunted locations in Corvallis so we can go?
So yeah, I don't know how I would do.
I'm not doing ghost moany sounds.
I don't know. No way, that sounds fun.
It reminds me of the first one that you made, where it's just a whole bunch of like this massive chorus of and they all start. Just fine.
I've heard sounds, all sounds. As far as music goes, I might just sans music.
Okay.
If
I think it would be fun.
If there's music,
it'd
it'd be like a very like just like a faint.
simple couple notes kind of tune.
Yeah, I like harpsichords. I think a harpsichord would be good, interesting.
For all the jump scares, it's just.
It gives it more of like a vampiric. What's that era called?
I know.
Like a Transylvania style, like vampires. Which isn't
Regency?
quite what I'm going for, but it's a good start.
Harpsichords.
Either a harpsichord or piano, right? And it's just like a low, like really quiet, just nice little track. Also, I'm not much of a musician anymore, so it needs to be something really simple.
That's a limiting belief right there.
Like a harpsichord or a piano, and just like a simple like 5-note thing that just kind of plays quietly in the background. But for sounds, I want to record all the sounds. Stomping.
When would you do that? Because one of the things that I'm curious about is like, when do you need to have the story fleshed out as you're working on it? When do you need to have the audio kind of in motion?
My thoughts right now is the more I can get concreted down now, the more I can get like on paper, this is what I'm doing now, the easier it's going to be later.
So do you want to have all the sounds done by like September?
You mean like actual dates?
Yeah, because like we both have spicy brain, and I want to see this in the calendar where it's like, oh shit, we've literally got to get out to the woods then before. It's gonna have to be after they do all the tree chopping, because I don't think you want chainsaw sounds in your game. So sometime after like the beginning / middle of September, and then before it gets too cold to be out where, I don't know, maybe that would actually be okay, because we have less hikers.
I know it sounds ambitious, but I think, like, in my head, this project isn't going to be that long.
I know, but I'm also saying again, we have the spicy brain.
I know.
Time is difficult to grasp, but it is real, unfortunately. Just because it's not real in here doesn't mean that it... From what I've heard, it's like pick a date and then double the amount of time you actually think it's going to take, and then you have a very generous cushion. And for me, that's been realistic, and I've almost like hit crunch time multiple times with that. So that's my request, I guess, especially if I'm helping with any of this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think it'll take you a week, put 2 weeks. If you think it'll take you 2 weeks, put 4 weeks.
For the entire project, you're saying?
No, I'm saying for audio specifically.
Oh, audio, yeah.
Story specifically, mechanics specifically. Like, I know that there's going to be some shimmy and all that jazz once you get into it, and you're like, oh, I actually can't do this until I blank. And you move some things around on the timeline, but at the moment, this just feels like a big ambiguous plan that eventually you'll get to it. I don't actually see it getting like finished, so I want to know what you would
What
do,
it's-
or what you would recommend in terms of picking that and sticking to that. Sorry, I'm just so tired. I'm not bored.
I'm bored.
I had a student say that to me multiple times during class at one point. She's like, I swear I'm not bored. I'm just so tired. I'm like, that's fine. No one likes talking about hex codes.
No, I don't know. I guess a lot of it depends on how many different sounds I feel like we need.
Start listing them.
Cause like, yeah, I guess we could start listing sounds.
You need some PC
walking.
sounds. Walking. Creaking.
I did not. So, walking.
Wind.
Here, I'll do ambiance, and I'll do like creaking.
Is it an E? It's not.
I don't think so. I think ambience is ambience. It's ambiance.
Was it romantic or not? Because
I think it's an A.
I'm gonna look it up now because I'm upset.
Okay, so creaking. We have. You said something else. Creaking, wind.
Stairs and wood and things like that.
Creaking, wind. Maybe whispering. Just quiet
From
whispers.
beyond.
Whispers, yeah, like ghost whispers.
Oh, ambience and ambience are both correct spellings of the same word.
Oh, it was like a UK English spelling.
Ambience is the more common spelling, especially in American, Canadian, or Australian publications. And it's always used when referring to the technical level of light or sound in a space. So technically, I'm right.
Right, for American.
Well, I mean, until another country accepts us, yeah.
Okay, so
The other one is just acceptable.
ambiance.
You know what? I've won some points. We can move
So
on.
walking, ambiance. I want
You're mean.
ghost sounds.
Oh, the sound of a candle going out, is that something that normal folks can hear?
I don't. Well, so it depends on if we have the mechanic where, like, the candle goes out and like it gets really dark, right, and gets like really silent.
I want like the little flame
You'd
flicker sound.
want like a right, like a
And the little
audible.
part when it ends.
Yeah, some audible. I'll put it down because we're brainstorming still. Audible candle going out.
Ouch.
I wanted.
Curtains
We need-
rustling.
We need doors / trunks,
Latches.
opening and closing.
Drawers.
Weird way to write
sliding,
that.
I think would be good.
Drawers. Oh my gosh, I am so
Drawers.
broken.
Drawers?
Opening.
Gotta get them some drawers.
Drawer.
Curtains. Curtain rustling. And then
Is that for like ambience, or is that more of like when the player goes and gets behind a curtain?
both?
Curtain.
I also think that we
Rustling.
should add in. Maybe not. I want sounds over carpet, walking over carpet.
So different walking sounds.
As well as on like hard creaky wood,
Yeah, so I got walking over different
over wood floors, hardwood floors, and carpets.
wood.
So I'm imagining those schmancy rugs, right? Would probably be pretty. They would show up places, or maybe you could even do like some leaves, depending on what you want it to sound like going up to the house. I think some random spook noises, like a picture frame falling and cracking open or something. Some type of thud.
Do you want like I don't think I necessarily want them, but you know, in like horror movies where they have like the creepy I don't know, it's like they have like the bow of the violin, and they like scrape the violin or whatever. That horrible noise that it makes.
That really weird instrument though with all the prongs.
Yeah, those things.
I mean, I would have a lot of fun with it.
It'd be
but
fun
I
to
don't
play
think
with.
we have the money or the wherewithal to get that.
My
But that
what was-
would go into like music, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. What was the thing before that?
I think you got it. I said like the different walking sounds.
I know, but there was something in between those two things, wasn't there?
The violin bow?
No, before that.
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
Was there?
Maybe not. Okay, so we got some audio. Some,
It's a good thing this isn't recording.
it is, well, it's streaming still.
Oh, potentially.
It says we're good now.
Okay,
I
well
don't
then
know
you,
if we're good now.
you could hypothetically hop over and see what we missed. I'm upset that clearing my throat is louder than my talking. Anyway,
Watching the audio levels.
it's distracting and there's dopamine in that activity. Clock. Messed
Ooh,
up
clock ticking.
grandfather clock. That would actually be really fun to make art-wise.
Wait, wasn't that what it was? You said clock ticking earlier.
No, I didn't say that.
There was something.
Well, I don't know what. I did not say that.
Was
This
it
is
no
a brand
clock?
new, fresh idea. Can you make an art list somewhere in here for like assets?
No, I remember what it was. Picture falling.
Okay, okay.
That's what it was.
Osb. Don't forget, write it down.
Yeah, good. You said, would you say birds and crows? Birds slash
Crows
crows.
slash owls. Frogs are always lovely, but they might not have the right vibe.
No, I
And
have
then-
that vibe.
And then art, tuck in some birds. Tuck in some birds. Tuck in some birds.
Did I not? What?
I need to know that I'm not making like a bird sprite. I'm like tucking them into the furniture and things.
Do you want me to write tuck in some?
Yes, because I'm dumb.
I don't.
Thanks.
I don't know what that meant. I was so confused.
I'm just stupid and I need
Yeah, that's
I need more support in that department.
okay. I need, as far as art, I need a letter.
I want a little key.
I don't.
Just
So
for funsies.
we-
It'd be good practice for me.
wait.
I don't care if you use it.
so we have the no sprite, but we also need like a close up. Like, what would you
Yes.
call that?
Lettered close up.
No close up. I'll just put that. I don't know what to call it.
Or active or whatever.
Maybe active is a good word.
Key.
Key.
Keat.
Um,
I'm sorry.
we really need some
Ghosties.
walking animations.
Animations.
Walking slash jumping.
Can you do it as a separate so that I can see them? I know.
Do you want me to put? Do you want me to like separate like art from animations even?
Ooh, yeah.
You can do that. I can't.
Alright, I'm
Animations.
gonna fill up my water really quick, but I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay, good.
Walking, jumping, crouching, blinky eyeballs in the chest.
Idle. I think idle should begin the further blinking. Maybe I'll put blinking. So walking, jumping, idle, blinking. The note close up. Oh, we might need an animation for him or her throwing, getting in trunk, getting in trunk. Armoire. E. Hiding. I should have said hiding in these. Hiding. Hiding. Behind curtain. Okay. So for art, we need a grandfather clock. We need to tuck in some birds. We need a note that's active. We need a key. For animations, we need walking, jumping, idle, which basically just blinking, and maybe like him.
I love
Bobbing.
the candle flicker. Just changing the colors on the candle a little bit.
Maybe a candle flicker. Flicker.
We talked about doing a curtain rustle, but to be honest, that sounds really difficult.
I think in my head the curtain rustle sounds easy because you could just
You said shift it.
Yeah, you shift like
would need
in
you
the
to
middle
show me
and
some
just kind of like do
concepts.
this. I could try to show you.
I can't visualize.
I could probably do some of these too. I could probably.
I just need an example of what you expect it
Mm-hmm.
to look like, and once I have that, I can do it.
Yeah.
If I can't see it, I can't make it. I want to make his lover.
All right, we need
Bay.
Bay. Bay. Bay's also getting animations, although she could probably just have the same animations as Rowan. Well, I guess not. Yeah, she's never mind. That's not accurate.
Oh, it might be kind of fun to try and sneak her out of the house. The game doesn't end until you make it
As
out.
like a story or like an actual
Potentially.
quest, I guess you could call it.
I don't know if it would be just like harder than it had been before, and so that's why it's entertaining, or if like the stakes are higher, so that's where the dopamine is.
Well, I don't know if
Or you just jump out the window and set the building on fire.
well, initially we had the idea of like you had to go light all the candelabras or whatever, all the little candles, and then that would solve the
riddle.
right, and
The ghost is
ghost
happy.
would no longer right. And if that was the case, we would need to escape. We just like leave. But that's not
I
We-
almost prefer the idea of burning the whole thing to the ground.
we could do that. Other
I don't know
art.
how to depict that though. Oh, I have picture frames in the work, like art and masterpieces.
Well, yeah,
and all that
we just need
jazz.
more general, like just household
Oh,
objects.
I do have the candelabra bits for the table, the standing ones, the chandeliers. I think I was gonna do a tapestry, like a little woven hanging kind of thing.
It's a candelabra. It's candle. Why did they do that? It's annoying. Oh, did you still want
Can we put tapestry into there?
for art?
Yeah, and then that one up there is gonna be like in parentheses, like table, standalone, chandelier. No, that the candelabra one is.
Oh,
Sorry. Table and standalone, and then underneath it add chandelier. Sorry.
There you go.
Can you also put a bell pull? No, that's the right word. That would be fun.
Like, what's a bell pull?
Okay, so in these big old mansions, when you lived there and you had servants or whatever, they had these mega like pulleys, ropes and stuff, and you would pull on it, and it essentially like rang a bell down wherever the servants
It's like
worked,
go
and they would
above 'em.
bring you lunch, or they'd come see what you
Waiter.
needed. But it might actually be kind of a cool mechanic if you're about to get found out or something, and you can sneak over there and pull it, and it like sounds the bell, and then
Oh,
like,
that's such a
ooh.
cool idea.
But would it be too difficult? Because then we have to add faint bells ringing
That does-
to the list.
It sounds. It's definitely a bing thing to add. That's such a cool
We could put in
idea.
a dumbwaiter. I don't know what
That's such a
time
cool
period
idea. I
technically
gotta-
those fit in.
I
That
gotta-
would be really fun.
That might be what I was trying to figure out.
So bell pull
Bell
system.
pull.
It's ULL.
Oh, yeah, because you can actually literally pulling. Yeah.
We're not pull dancing. Pulling. And then
I
just
like
do
that idea.
dumbwaiter for funsies.
Dumb waiter for
So,
what?
so it's like the mini elevator that they would send laundry and food up and down. You know, you just have to like pull it or crank a wheel, and it could go up the floors.
Oh, that's such a cool idea.
They use it in all the horror movies. All the kids are doing it these days.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then for art, we're gonna need a bell pull.
Well, you gotta just change the spelling on the one above it.
Oh my gosh, I already put it. I'm so tired.
And then do dumbwaiter. Ghost Butler.
Oh, we need Ghost, right? We need
Ghost
Ghosts.
Jeeves.
Just Ghost for now. Or is it just one ghost?
We just gotta figure out.
That's
You
something
have
we gotta figure out with the
one
story.
entity that is haunting you, being like, "This is my world. Can't take it back." Or do you have a major haunting going on? I mean, I kind of like the concept of just one, because then distract them by dropping the dumbwaiter, distract them by pulling the bells, distract them by throwing something out the window. Like, that kind of thing works. Versus, like, you're just making a ruckus, and not only is that one ghost gonna find you, but you're gonna wake up a bunch of the other ones. Like,
Right.
and then the concept of running, like, if you do have to run, it's much easier and, like, feasible to outrun one entity as opposed to multiples. But I don't know, it's not like that hasn't been done in other games. I just feel like conceptually that sounds more solid. That's my vote at the moment.
I like this. Sounds good. Ambiance.
You're wrong.
It's ambiance.
Ambience.
Ambience.
Say it like an American. Oop. Okay. I like the concept of breaking out the art into a multi-week process, to be completely honest with you, just for work-life balance and all of that. Like, I find it really difficult to imagine planning in multiple days to just pour through this with the way that life is currently set up. So I would probably want to break it into, I don't know, I'd probably just set aside some time each week and go through the ones that sound interesting, or if you're like, hey, I need this, prioritize that one. So, like, put that in a list that makes sense to you, maybe, and then I can at least see what's most interesting and most needed and kind of go from there.
I think.
Did we finish the sounds?
I think so. I think we have a good amount to start with. I mean, it's probably like the most fleshed out thing we have on here.
You know what?
I think with how I'm going to start doing things from now on, that'll work out perfectly with the art. Because I'm probably going to try and do some of these myself. Because I want to get good at art. I want to get at least capable.
Small crisis when you say that, but okay.
I want to be capable.
Yes. I have a small crisis because I'm a control freak.
No, I know. You're good.
As long as you understand where I'm coming from.
Don't you worry, but I know.
It's not about you, it's about me.
No, but I'll probably start with like small things like the key. But that'll be good because with the new way I'm going to do things, where I'm just going to start boxing things, I'm just going to say, this square is going to be the key for now.
Okay.
Right, and I'm just going to instance the key, get it working, so it can unlock doors. Because it won't matter. It'll be a box, and that's fine. And I'll have a funny looking box as a ghost, right? And get the ghost moving around.
Watch out for the gelatinous cube.
And then as you get things working, as you get the things you're doing drawn and like good to go, I can just plug and play, right? You can just grab it, put it in, call it a day.
Put some skelly features in there.
Skelly?
Skeleton features.
Skellies?
Where you're walking and then there's an open closet, but you can't actually use it because it's got two skeletons hanging out.
You open the door, you'll see him, and it'll play like a.
No, it's just like a skull, you know.
And he'll like close the door because he can't use it.
Bones crunch.
Or she will do that.
Ambiguous they.
Ambiguous Rowan.
It's a they with, in parentheses, threatening. I'm excited to make the bay. Blonde or brunette?
It's going to be white either way. We have very limited colors.
Oh, I got shades.
No new colors, babe. You can't add
No,
colors.
I'm not. No, I'm saying like, would she have like the dark purple
No.
for the hair, or would she have a lighter tone for the hair? That's literally all I'm.
Oh, probably lighter.
You get. I'm doing it. It don't matter. Think I'm gonna be just bringing in random shades and messing up the palette? No, thank you. Might be unhinged, but I'm not like that.
I like your curtains. I think you did a really good job on the curtains and the trunk. What?
I'm sorry.
And the armoire. What? Are you laughing at how I say things?
No, is there? Is it?
Yes, we're live. They hear me.
Okay, cool. Well, being able to say like, oh, I like your curtains and your trunk. It's just I'm sorry.
I need to get the stepping mechanics working right too.
Yeah. But right now he just glides. Exciting.
Very exciting.
What else do you need for this document right now? Because right now it's all in just brainstorming.
It's all just brainstorming right now.
So do you anticipate doing more streamies where you're like, hey, now I'm actually going to block out a story. This is what this looks like based on what I understand. Or